So this video is titled Care About Yourself. Now, why are we going to be talking about caring about yourself, right? It's very, 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 very important because most people don't care about themselves. It's very important before we even begin to think about entering a relationship with somebody else is that we need to care about ourselves. How in the world can you expect somebody else? How can you expect to care about someone else more than you care about yourself? You're definitely not going to, if you can't treat yourself well, you most definitely can't treat others well. That's what we're going to be talking about today. If you're trying to create something or manifest something in life, you're going to bring what you deserve and what you believe you deserve to yourself. If you don't care about yourself, then you obviously don't think you deserve anything good, because if you don't care about yourself, how can you deserve anything good, right? I even used to not care about myself. I used to even hate myself at some point. And that was a while ago. And I did not even think I don't even know why I was doing that. Like, what made me start to hate myself? I don't even remember. Like, it wasn't like one day I woke up and I did not like myself. It was slow. And I got into that state of mind. And it just kind of stayed that way for a really long time. But now that I'm not in that mindset anymore, I'm able to look back at it and say that I was honestly doing it to myself. Because I realized that I was thinking things that were making me feel a certain way. And then I thought, oh, I deserved these kind of things. Or if someone else did anything mean to me, or something happened, or some bad luck happened, or I didn't get what I wanted, whatever it might be, I was like, oh, I deserve this. And I was consciously making myself feel that way again. I would also take responsibility for things that were not my fault. If something happened to me and it was external, or someone was being mean to me, or things that happened to you, I was like saying it was my fault, or I was taking responsibility and blame for something that was not necessarily my fault, or I would say I deserved it. That's what I mean by kind of like responsibility. The problem with this kind of thinking, this kind of mindset in life that you're living at that time, is that you start to create a feedback loop. Something bad happens, you think you deserved it, you feel bad, and something bad happens again. You think you deserved it, you feel bad, something bad happens again. So you start to make a feedback loop unless you consciously, on purpose, decide that you're not going to be like that anymore, you're not going to live like this anymore, and that you want to change. Speaking of change, if you've ever thought you wanted to unalive yourself or end your life, it's probably true. It's probably because you do want to, and not in the way where you actually leave the face of the earth. I'm saying who you think you are, who you have been being, the kind of personality you have been is what you probably want to unalive or get rid of. You really technically want to die and make a new you. That's really the goal, and that's what I realized I was saying way back then. It wasn't really, it was like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years ago, more than 6, 7, 8 years ago probably. You do want to die, but not your body, but who you think you are, who you've been being, your personality. You want that to go away, and you want to build a brand new person, be a clean slate. You've probably seen other people, maybe on TV, on Instagram, or whatever, anywhere where you can get an influence about how somebody may live, and you're like, I want to be like that. So that's what we're going to be working on. Before I get into how we're going to work on that, is we need to talk about the universe, right? Or the earth, the creator of this entire universe. Me, you, the grass, the trees, the sun, the camera, your phone, the audio, the microphone, all these different things. These are just technological aspects that some humans have made, but there's also natural things such as the entire earth, which is very, very large, the sun, the moon. Coincidentally, how the sun and the moon appear to be the same size, yet they're very, very, very far apart, but yet they look approximately the same size in our sky. How we have the perfect distance from the sun, how we have all these other planets around us who are circling, no meteors have hit us, or not during our lifetime. All these different things work in perfect harmony. Maybe you know a little bit about cell biology, how we have the mitochondria and all the different organelles inside of the cell that are working constantly in each one of your cells, your whole entire body, all your skin cells, your heart, your liver. They're all working together perfectly harmoniously. And this is all from the work of the creator. Now, if you think all this would be hard to make yourself, that's definitely true. That's why we are not the creator himself. So what do you think the creator cannot do? If he can do all this, make all these things, make them work in perfect order, meaning like things happen at the right time, things happen in the right way. Like for example, your heart beats in a certain pattern. What if your heart started beating like randomly? It's not gonna pump blood, you're gonna die. These things work in perfect timing, not just with your body, but the body is very complex, but that's one of the examples I want to use. So what can the creator not do? There's nothing. It can make anything possible, anything you can imagine. If you can't even imagine how our own body works, we don't know everything about our body or what's in the deepest parts of the ocean. There's definitely more things that are beyond our even imagination that's possible that we don't know about, that is within the capacity of the creator. The point of this is not to make you feel small or insignificant compared to the giant scheme of things, especially like the size of the universe, but it's to show you that we're not fully in control of this life. Like, did you decide to be born at this particular time in life? What if you were born 100 years ago or 200 years in the future? This is not a decision that you made, and yet you're here. And the point of all of this is what I'm saying, this whole section here, is that the creator has infinite possibility, more than we know, and in a way that we do not fully comprehend, which we understand and trust, which we should understand and trust. So now that we got that out of the way, and if you're still following me here, if you're still with my video, the next question you should probably be asking is, what do I need to do? What is it that I need to do now? How do I get rid of my low life or low energy life and build a new me? Well, I want to congratulate you, because that is one of the first steps, is acknowledging, admitting, and accepting. All those things start with A. The triple threat is to becoming that new person. If you do not admit how things are, we do not accept how things are, and we do not acknowledge that they are this way, then there's no way we can possibly change them, right? So if I, for example, I don't know, if I didn't accept that there was like a hole in my jacket, let's say there was a hole in my jacket, then there's no way I can ever fix it, because I'm denying it. I'm not acknowledging it. So congratulations to the first step. Now we just need to figure out who it is, what kind of life, who do we want to be? We can figure this out by asking our forebrain here some questions. Ask ourselves some questions. What if I was my ideal person, my perfect person, like the perfect kind of life, what would it look like? What would I be doing? How would I feel? What would be like some of the things I do in my routine? What are the things I would see and smell and feel on a daily basis? Imagine all those things. And if you're not sure exactly what the ideal person is, that's why we ask our forebrain that question. Your brain is extremely strong, and it's a tool that we can use, which I'm gonna get into because we're the observer. We ask ourselves, what would that person look like? You relax a little bit, do a couple of breathing, and watch. The thoughts, the answers are gonna come to you. Might not come to you immediately, but when you ask the question, the answer will follow. What I did is I wrote down my thoughts, not all of them, just some of the questions I had, in a notebook. Now I used digital, I use an app called Obsidian, it's really nice. But whatever you feel most comfortable with, writing it on paper, writing it in a notebook, just write down your thoughts, ask yourself those questions, and write down some of the answers, and write down exactly how you would feel on a daily basis. This is to help you organize your thoughts. It's definitely not a requirement, but you really should do it because it helps be way more organized. If you had to track all the different thoughts you had in a whole day, I don't think you'd be able to do it without writing them down. If I told you to remember every single thought that you had in a day and then write them down at the end of the day, you're definitely not gonna remember all of them. So that's why we write them down as the process happening, so we can be more organized. Once we figure all that out, you're gonna notice soon after, your body, your unconscious is going to try to change that. Because, well, not change it, prevent it from changing. So we're gonna, basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna die here and we're gonna build a new version of ourselves. And if we know Newton's laws of motion, which is things in motion, stay in motion, which is the same thing as things in rest, stay at rest. For example, I have a, oh, it's heavy. Oh, fuck. Oh my God, this is not a good example. I have a cinder block. It's heavy. It doesn't want to move unless something puts a force on it and moves it. Things will stay at rest. And we can use the same example with our personality, our consciousness, how we have been in life. We want to stay in the same mindset. We want to stay in the same feeling, the same mode. It's easy for our body to stay in the same way than it is to change it. Just like working out, lifting that brick was hard. It would be easier for me not to lift the brick because, like I said, it's easier not to change. My whole point is that our unconscious is going to try to stop us from changing. You're going to hear thoughts such as, this is not going to work. You don't deserve this. There's no way this could work. This is all pointless. What is this guy saying? He's crazy. All these different things are going to come into your mind. It's going to put doubt. It's going to prevent you from trying to change. And that's really your unconscious and your body trying to make things easier on itself by not changing. So we got to trim the weeds, cut them out, make a whole new us. So now that we know that our conscious is going to try to stop us, and we know we did all the writing down and we figured out who we want to be, right? Now we need to go to sleep that night that you do all this stuff. Imagine a scene, a situation where you encounter the success of that ideal person that you would want to be. If it's to be in a perfect relationship, you'd probably be imagining a hug with your ideal person. Or if you wanted a new car, then you can imagine driving that new car. It needs to have some motion in it, not static. It's not like pictures. Life is motion. So you want to imagine like driving the car or drifting or whatever it is you're doing, driving fast, whatnot. Always imagine the success and add some motion to it with whatever it is we're trying to do. The reason we're doing this as we go to sleep is because we fall down through the different brain waves like delta, beta, theta, etc. You can also do it in a deep meditation just by focusing on breathing. I have an induction meditation which helps us focus on our body, and then you can like close your eyes and imagine that. It helps you feel it more. We want to feel it, so and feel like as if it's already happened. We're gonna do that as we go to sleep because it's easiest, and you're gonna do that every night until you feel like it's actually happened, like until you feel like this becomes like almost like a memory. When you have a memory of your past, you know it happened and you can recall it and feel it. We're gonna memorize the future. That's basically what we're doing. And there's some technical, like more scientific, theoretical stuff that I'll get into another video. Basically like how the fourth dimensional time becomes like an axis, and everything in the fourth dimension is like already happened. So that means you're able to go up and down through time. And we're in the third dimension, which basically means that we're experiencing things in order. But in the fourth dimension, it's all happened, so anything is possible. Anyway, we'll get into, if you want a video about that, let me know. Just put in the comments and we'll talk about it. I'll make another video, or maybe I'll make an extra video on my Patreon. Just let me know. So where were we at? Yes, we're gonna imagine and feel the situation every night as we go to sleep. It should be like a memory by the time you're done. It might not happen the first night, it'll take a couple nights. If your imaginative situation has already happened and you felt it, what kind of things would you be doing? You need to start living that way, right? Here's an easy example. If you want a relationship and you're sleeping in the middle of your bed, where is the space for the second person? Where is your person gonna be? On the edge? I don't know. I mean, if that's what you want, but just think about things like that. If you are already with the person you want to be with, or the dream that you wanted to have, the experience you wanted to have, how would you like be acting on a day-to-day basis? Try to notice those things. Basically, everything that we've talked about has been from some knowledge I've experienced myself and knowledge from some books from Neville Goddard, The Secret, Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. These are some of my favorite books, but it's basically bits and pieces from other things. If you had anything to take away from this entire video, is that whatever you put your attention on is what you will create more of. If we continue to put our attention on the lack of wealth, or the lack of a partner, or the lack of something, then we are going to create more lack of that thing. If you keep telling yourself, I put my attention on, I deserve to be unhappy, I deserve to be treated badly, I don't deserve respect, or whatever it is you might be saying to yourself, we're gonna create more of that. Throughout this whole process, we do need to make sure to be aware of our thoughts throughout the day. you're gonna, like I said with earlier, your body is going to try to pull you out of that changing mode. It wants you to stay the same because it's easy to stay the same. And I did mention earlier that we were going to talk about this thing. When you start to focus on your body by doing the induction meditations that I have on my Patreon or on my YouTube, any kind of meditation, breathing, just putting attention on the awareness of the now, of the present moment, you're going to notice that there's the you who is observing, and then sometimes you have thoughts that come to you. And people mistakenly think the thoughts are them, but you are the one that's paying attention to the thoughts. And you're gonna see this when you do the meditation and you try to focus on breathing. You're gonna notice these thoughts, you're gonna hear them. They're your thoughts, they come to you, and you listen to the thoughts. So if you can listen to the thoughts, that means you are not the thoughts. It's a little confusing, but you'll certainly understand exactly what I'm saying once you try an induction meditation or anything along those lines. And that means you are the observer of the thoughts. You observe the thoughts, and that's how we're going to pay attention throughout the day. When we do some of these meditations throughout the day, you're going to hopefully carry on. It's like a practice. It's like going to the gym. You're going to practice for 5 minutes or 6-7 minutes. I have a short one on my Patreon. And then your goal with the practice is that you'll do it again later throughout the day without the need for the meditation. You don't have to meditate 24/7, but the point is to bring you back to the present moment, back to the present awareness, because we cannot create new things in the future if we're focused on the past, or we're living in the past, or we're living in the future already. Anyway, these meditations are down on my Patreon below. Thank you for tuning in to this video. I know it's just pretty boring, just still, well, it's not that boring. We don't need to be like Mr. Beast. Anyway, go ahead, join my Patreon below for the Patreon. You're gonna get updates, you're gonna get my notes. I do have a guide for meditation and manifestation as well, a text, and I also have a post about wealth building. You should really check that one out. Yeah, thank you again for watching. See you in the next videos.